Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going back to the Dark Reign crown fight, and we're going to use the new free Raegen to basically carry the entire fight for us. So this is the party we're going to use, and we're going to get an all mission clear using this party. So the gear is pretty high end, but the units are very cheap. I guess except for maybe Fiend of the Return. Anyway, on turn 1, Hallowed Aegis Charlotte is going to use Hallowed Aegis' Vanquishment. For the physical cover, she's using Evasion. Fiend of the Return will do her LB. Lastwell Raegen, honestly, we'll just use Courageous to get some LB fill, but we're not really going to use them until turn 4. Raegen the Return is going to Magnus Break and then double Light and Peril. While Raegen Dark... There's so many Raegens in the party. We got Raegen Dark Lineage, Raegen the Return, and then Lastwell Raegen. Too many Raegens. The one that matters, though, is Dark Lineage. So Dark Lineage Raegen is going to Light Imbue. We're going to use their LB cooldown, and then, doesn't matter, we can Sonic Aqua Strike. Okay, so turn 1 is going to be some AoE physical damage. We are Mirage covering it with Charlotte. I'm sorry, Evade covering it with Charlotte. Then a Gravity attack, don't really care. Okay, and now the boss has Mirage stacks. So we did counter them away. That won't always happen. So we're going to go ahead and just use Lastwell Raegen and just hit the boss with dual wield to get rid of the Mirage stacks in case you didn't get them otherwise. They're really only here for later in the fight. Hallowed Aegis Charlotte is going to swap over to Magical Cover. We're going to use Fiend of the Return to put up that nice field. And now Raegen the Return with a light element weapon is going to triple Absolute Mirror of Equity. And we will chain it with Raegen Dark Lineage's LB. So we'll go ahead and chain this up, deal a little bit of damage. Most of the damage will be coming later, not yet. So there it is. So here is some stuff recovering the magic with Charlotte. Some physical, some fixed. Not much damage. You've got general mitigation. You should be overall fine. So we did get fully dispelled, though. So we're going to use Fiend of the Return to now do Brilliant Veil for the Light Imbue, Delightful Glow for the Demon Killer, and we'll just use Curaga to top the party back up a little bit. Doesn't matter that much. We're going to use Hallowed Aegis Charlotte to Hallowed Aegis' Banishment to put up Magical Cover again. Lastwell Raegen on this turn can do Dragon Slayer Blade. And then Raegen the Return, we can just actually LB these two again. So we're going to triple Absolute Mirror with Raegen the Return, and then we're going to SLB Raegen Dark Lineage. Now we're not going to deal a ton of damage because we don't have the good buffs yet. We got fully dispelled, but we still did decent. That was nice. Okay, so some magic attacks this turn, no big deal. Now it is time to finish off the boss. So at this point, we're going to use the SLB of Fiend of the Return, and now we have the good buffs. Hallowed Aegis Charlotte will Knight's Captain Dignity to entrust over to Dark Lineage Raegen. We'll reload these guys again, and we're going to shift Lastwell Raegen, and now they're going to actually deal some damage. They're a trash unit. The damage is going to be very bad, but we're going to deal some damage. So we're going to go ahead and chain these up and wait. This is a really quick cap, and then use the capping move. And boom, there it is. There was our all mission clear. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the team that we used, and we'll check out the damage breakdown, and we can laugh at Lastwell and Raegen. So Hallowed Aegis Charlotte are just Evasion with 100 Fire, 200 Light. Nothing else really matters. Give them some LB fill so that they can entrust on turn 4, because we want to do lots of LBs with with Raegen, Raegen Dark Lineage. Too many Raegens in this party. Fiend of the Return is on Bayment for the field. Just some Esper fill and kind of whatever beyond that. I hit auto gear on the empty slots just to gear them for some bulk. Who cares? All that really matters is the light support. Lastwell Raegen in the base form are using some light resist as well as some LB fill. Titus's Garb, if you own it, is helpful. Other than that, kind of whatever. They're just here for the Dragon Killer for the most part. And then shift form, we are using a bow because the only weapon in peril in the party is from Fianna. We're using bows on the DPS. LB damage versus Dragon's Demons. Like I said, this unit is absolute trash, but maxed LB damage, 200 Dragon and 225 Demon is the best I could do. Raegen the Return, light element weapon, a little bit of mana reduction. Other than that, who cares? Some Esper fill, and then kind of whatever. Raegen Dark Lineage is the one that carries the fight. So again, I geared him with the bow because that is the weapon and peril we're using. If Dark Rain's on the party, you can give him a spear. If Knights of Grand Shelter are on the party, you can give them a greatsword. Just, whatever you can do to get a weapon and peril for this unit. Titus's Garb, if you own it, is very, very good on this unit. Other than that, LB damage versus dragons and demons, and they do gear pretty easily, so they were maxed, and there it is. Let's see the damage breakdown. So the boss has a grand total of 15 billion HP. Let's see who did what in the clear. We did damage one time with Lastwell Raegen. How much did they contribute? Well, basically nothing. So there is the breakdown. So yeah, Raegen Dark Lineage carries the fight. Like I said, the boss has 15 billion HP. They did 16. Didn't even need Lastwell and Raegen. Well, we did use Lastwell and Raegen for the killer. The killer was useful. But if your gear is not quite as good, go ahead and drop Lastwell Raegen and add in another damage dealer. Either Knights of Grand Shelter or Dark Rain would be the two very best ones. If you don't have Feign of the Return, it would be a little bit trickier. You might want to mix in something like, for example, Zidane's STMR to get some buffing going. Stuff like that. You could also gear the party in Guts and go to turn 5, and you'd still be okay. But, I mean, as long as you've got some good gear and you went ahead and farmed up Raegen Dark Lineage, you should be fine. And there was the automation clear. And that's probably the last run I'm going to do on this fight. So hopefully between the 3 or 4 videos I've done on this fight, one of them can help you get it done. Later.